When I married Emily, I thought I'd found my forever. She was my best friend, my partner, and the woman who made every dull day feel bright. My best friend, Jake, and his wife, Clara, were our closest couple friends. We had dinners together, went on vacations, and celebrated milestones as one big family. But behind those smiles and friendly hugs, a storm was brewing, one I didn't see coming. It began subtly. Emily started spending more time catching up with Jake and Clara, saying they were helping her with some charity project. I trusted her completely. After all, these were people I'd known for years. But I began to notice odd changes. She was dressing differently, acting secretive, and laughing a little too loudly at Jake's jokes. Still, I ignored the signs, telling myself that paranoia ruins marriages. One Friday evening, she came home late. Her hair was messy, and she looked flushed. When I asked, she shrugged it off, saying, "We were discussing something private." Her tone was cold, unlike the woman I knew. My gut screamed something was wrong, but love makes you blind. I didn't want to believe she could betray me, especially not with the very people I called family. Weeks later, while Emily was in the shower, her phone buzzed. I never snooped, but something made me pick it up. The group chat was named The Open Circle. My blood froze as I read their messages, flirty exchanges, photos, and even plans that made everything clear. Emily, Jake, and Clara were involved together. They called it an open marriage, a modern arrangement that apparently didn't require my consent. My world collapsed. When she came out, I was sitting on the bed with her phone in my hand. "What is this?" I asked quietly. Her face paled, but then she straightened up, defiant. "You're overreacting," she said. "We agreed to explore, didn't we?" I was speechless. "Explore?" I echoed. "Emily, that was your fantasy, not our agreement." She rolled her eyes, saying, "You're too traditional, Daniel. Jake and Clara understand freedom." The words burned deeper than any wound. My wife, the woman I'd built a life with, had not only cheated but twisted morality to justify it. I left the house that night and stayed with my brother, pretending everything was fine. But inside, I was planning something she wouldn't see coming. Revenge wouldn't fix my broken heart, but it would bring truth to light. Over the next few weeks, I pretended to forgive her. I acted as if I understood her open views. She bought the act completely. Behind her back, I gathered evidence, messages, photos, voice notes, everything that tied her, Jake, and Clara together. I didn't want to destroy her reputation. I wanted her to face her own lies. Jake worked with me at the same firm. During a company retreat, I presented a team trust exercise. Each team had to submit personal photos that represented honesty and loyalty. Using the data I'd collected, I replaced Jake's submission with screenshots of his chats with Emily and Clara. When the projector displayed them, silence filled the room. The shock on everyone's faces was priceless. Jake tried to shut it off, but it was too late. The fallout was brutal. Jake's marriage with Clara shattered instantly. She hadn't known he was secretly meeting Emily without her consent. Emily was exposed as the center of the deception. My boss pulled me aside later, telling me he'd never seen betrayal unfold so openly. Jake was fired for unethical conduct, and Clara filed for divorce. Emily came home that night, trembling with rage. "How could you humiliate me like that?" she screamed. I looked at her calmly. "You called it an open marriage," I said. "I just opened it for everyone to see." Her face fell, and for the first time, she looked genuinely scared. She tried to guilt me, cried for forgiveness, claimed it was a mistake of emotions. But by then, my heart had turned to stone. I packed my things and filed for divorce the next morning. In court, the evidence spoke for itself. She walked out with nothing, no house, no respect, no friends. Jake tried to reach out to me later, apologizing, saying he'd lost his mind. I blocked him without replying. Clara, however, thanked me. She said my actions freed her from a toxic marriage she didn't realize was broken. Months later, I moved to a new city, away from the chaos. Healing took time, but peace eventually returned. Sometimes, I'd catch myself remembering the laughter we once shared, the dinners, the friendships, but then I'd remind myself of the lies beneath those smiles. In the end, I learned something powerful. Betrayal is never about love, it's about selfishness disguised as freedom. My revenge didn't just expose them, it gave me back my dignity. I lost a wife and 2 friends, but I found something far more important: the courage to never let deceit define me again.